Hello, my dear students. Good morning to all of you. In today's session, we are going to discuss on a very important topic that is conduction as well as the breakdown process in the presence of a liquid dielectric medium. Okay. In the previous class, that is basically the first module, it covers what are the various electrical phenomena in the presence of the different dielectric mediums. Is it right? Different dielectrics mediums in the sense that gaseous medium, liquid medium, and one more is the solid medium. So in the presence of three different dielectric mediums, we are going to study about the various electrical phenomena. Various electrical phenomena means one is the conduction phenomena and one more is the breakdown phenomena. Okay. As we already discussed about the conduction as well as the breakdown phenomena in the presence of which medium, that is gaseous dielectric media. So though in that case the Townsend's theory, streamer theory, how the breakdown mechanism it is going to be takes place. So Paschen's law, is it right? So in the presence of a gaseous dielectric medium, these two electrical phenomena we have studied. Okay, but in today's session we are going to discuss on the conduction as well as the breakdown in presence of which dielectric media? Liquid dielectric media. So in this only the two sub bits we are going to cover today. Which are those? One is the liquids as insulators and one more is the pure liquids and commercial liquids. Okay. Okay, let us start the session now. So first thing here, liquid insulators, the comparatively, as we already discussed about the gaseous dielectric media or gases as an insulator we have discussed, is it right? But when we compared with the gaseous dielectric media, both the liquids and solids are usually 10 times denser, nothing but the 10 times thicker than the gaseous dielectric medium. Which are those? One, both the liquids as well as the solid dielectric medias are 10 times greater or 10 times denser or thicker than the gaseous dielectric mediums. Okay. So these liquid dielectrics where we are going to be used in the sense that are mainly used as a electrical insulators. For what purpose? For the high voltage applications. High voltage applications in the case of what high voltage applications like in case of transformers, high voltage capacitors, high voltage cables and high voltage capacitors, cables, and as well as the for filling up of transformers, circuit breakers. So here in these kinds of high voltage applications, liquid dielectrics are going to be used itself. Okay. So and one more thing is that these liquid dielectrics are going to be acts like a insulation as well as the coolant. Keep it in mind. So liquid dielectrics are also provides the first thing is insulation. Second thing is they will also suppresses the corona discharge, and one more thing is that these liquid dielectrics acts like a coolant. Coolant in the sense that heat transfer agent in the transformers. Whatever the heat it is going to be generated inside the machine means that heat should be dissipated to the surrounding. So through the radiation process or convection process or through the conduction process. Getting my point? In transformer, this liquid dielectrics are going to be acts like a both insulation as well as the coolant. Getting my point? Examples for this liquid dielectric is the petroleum oil or the transformer oils or a silicone oils. So these are going to be considered as a liquid dielectrics. Okay. And this liquid dielectrics are normally the mixture of what? Hydrocarbons, hydrogen as well as the carbon atoms will be there. And these kinds of liquid dielectrics are weakly polarized in nature. Keep it in mind. So liquid dielectrics are normally the mixture of hydrocarbons as well as the are weakly polarized in nature. Okay. When we used these liquid dielectrics for the insulation purpose means they should be completely free from the impurities like what? Moisture. The moisture content should not be present in the liquid dielectrics, as well as the products of some any oxidations or any other contaminants like dust particles or any suspended particles, even the water droplets. Is it right? So these are the impurities. If these kinds of impurities, if they are present in the liquid dielectric mediums, means they affect the overall electrical strength of an insulating oil itself. Getting my point? So they should be, the liquid dielectric should be free from all these impurities. Okay, so very important thing here, the most important factor usually affects the electrical strength of an insulating oil is the presence of a water content. So water content, it is nothing but the water in the form of a fine droplets, if it is suspended in the oil, means what will happen? Even the presence of 0.01% of water in a transformer oil reduces its electrical strength to 20% of the dry oil itself. Compare it to even the only how much percentage? Even a 0.01 percentage. Very small it is it right? So even the presence of 0.01% of a water droplet, if it is present in the oil, means it will reduces the overall strength of a oil. How much percentage? 20% of a strength it is going to be reduces when we compare with the dry oil it is. Getting my point? So this is all about the liquids as a insulator. Okay, so basically we need to understand here, basically the liquid dielectrics, examples for liquid dielectrics, what I told here, the petroleum oil or the transformer oil or the silicone oil. So these are the best examples for the liquid dielectrics. Okay, so these liquid dielectrics basically provides the three major functions. So one is it provides it is going to be acts like a insulation, and the second thing is that it will suppress the corona discharge, and the third is these liquid dielectrics are going to be acts like a coolants also. Getting my point? So okay, let us consider, so what is the function of liquid dielectric in case of a transformer it is there. So this is the transformer it is there. So this will be consist of a primary winding and the secondary winding, and this is the core it is there. The core, it is nothing but it provide a path for it provide the low reluctance path for the flux flow it is there. Is it right? And the primary winding and the secondary winding surrounded here. So whenever the heat it is going to be generated inside this machine or inside this transformer, means that heat should be dissipated to the surrounding. This is through the radiator tubes itself. Getting my point? So heat, if it is generated inside the machine, means that heat should be dissipated to the surrounding through the radiator tube itself. So which is the dielectric media acting here? So nothing but the oil. Which oil? Transformer oil or the petroleum oil, which is the liquid dielectric. So this liquid dielectric serve as a insulation between the live, in the sense that between windings to the grounded parts it is. Getting my point? As well as this liquid dielectric or the transformer oil, it will carry out the heat from the transformer to the atmosphere. Nothing but it is also acting like a coolant. Keep it in mind. And in case of a circuit breaker, if you consider this liquid dielectric, means, so the liquid dielectrics in case of a circuit breaker, how it is going to be function, in the sense that this liquid dielectrics which suppresses the arc itself. Whenever the spark it is going to be generated, with that arc or a spark, it is going to be completely suppressed or nullified with the help of which media? Liquid dielectrics or the liquid insulating medias. Okay, and very important thing here, so it must be, so these liquid dielectric must be chemically stable and free from the moisture as well as any other contaminations in the sense that either it is a dust particles or any suspended particles, mud, or we can say what ionic impurities like water droplets. So these are the liquid dielectric should be free from these impurities. Okay, that is why only I said already, is it right? Because even the presence of 0.01% of a water in the transformer oil or any liquid dielectric oil, it will brings down the dielectric strength or the electrical strength of that particular oil. It is going to be reduced to 20%, because it is a very smaller percentage. 0.01 means it is a very little amount, is it right? Even the presence of this much less amount of water droplets in the oil, which reduces the strength by how much percentage? 20%. You can imagine that one, is it right? So in case of a transformer, it is going to be acts like a insulation as well as the coolant also. Next, one more important function what I told. See, these liquid dielectrics also provides the or also suppresses the corona discharge. What is that corona discharge? Corona discharge means what? Electrical discharge. Electrical discharge or nothing but the electrical discharge, it is nothing but what? A spark it is it right? So corona discharge, it is also a nothing but a electrical discharge which is caused by the ionization of a fluid such as surrounding the conductor. So this is the conductor, it is there. This conductor, it is completely covered with the air media, is it right? Air, it is nothing but the perfect insulator itself, is it right? So this conductor will be carrying the high voltage itself, is it right? So suppose this electrical discharge which is caused by the ionization of a what? Fluid or the liquid medium. Getting my point? Whenever the ionization occurs means the local region where the air has undergone a electrical breakdown itself. Suppose the air media or the gaseous insulating media gets breakdown means completely it is going to be acts like a conductive. The air become conductive. Then what will happen? It will allows the charges to continuously leak off through the air itself. So continuously if charges are leaking through the air means that is nothing but the corona discharge. It is a corona occurs at the locations where strength of the electric field around the conductors it is going to exceeds the dielectric strength of the air medium. Getting my point? So that is why, so it is often we can see that a bluish glow which is around the conductors. Getting my point? Around the pointed metal conductors, a bluish glow or a discharge or a spark, it is going to be produces. That is how it is going to be produces, mainly because of the reason that ionization of the air media present in this around this conductor. Getting my point? So in order to suppress this corona discharge, because the corona discharge in the sense that it is nothing but the huge amount of the energy loss it is. Keep it in mind. So the corona, it is nothing but the unwanted side effect it is. It is nothing but the significant waste of energy for the utilities. So for that purpose, so corona discharge, it should be often suppressed by the improved insulation medias. Getting my point? So that is the main function of the liquid dielectrics. Keep it in mind, these liquid dielectric basic functions are like the first thing is it will provide the insulation, and the second thing is it will also acts like a coolant, and it also provides the or it also suppresses the corona discharge. Corona discharge, it is nothing but what? It is nothing but a bluish glow. It is going to be occurs around the pointed edges of a metal or the conductors. When this bluish glow or the electrical discharge occurs means due to the ionization of the air media. Air, it is nothing but the perfect insulator between the conductors. Due to the ionization of this air only, electrical discharge it is going to be occurs. So the electrical discharges in the form of the bluish glow. So this bluish glow around the pointed metal conductors. So that is going to be called it as a corona discharge. So this corona discharge, it is nothing but the huge amount of energy waste it is. So that is why in order to avoid this corona discharge or the huge amount of the energy wastage means that is going to be overcome by providing the proper insulation or the improved insulation we need to provide. Getting my point? So this is all about what? Breakdown in liquid dielectrics. Okay. Next we will move on to very important liquids, which are those. One is the pure liquid and one more is the commercial liquids. Okay, first we'll try to understand what is pure liquid and what is commercial liquid. Okay, the pure liquids means what? In the name only it indicates that it does not consist of any impurities, nothing but we can say that pure liquids are the chemically pure and it does not consist of any other impurities. Impurities means what? Impurities like any other suspended particles or dust particles, is it right? Or a moisture content or a ionic impurities. So these pure liquids does not consist of any other impurities. That is why those are going to be called it as a chemically pure liquids. Okay, and structure of these pure liquids will be very simple when we compare with the structure of a commercial liquids. Okay, and examples for this pure liquids are the N-hexane and one more is the N-heptane. Keep it in mind. So basically I told that these liquid dielectrics are nothing but the obtained from the hydrocarbons itself. Is it right? Hydrocarbons in the sense that hydrogen as well as the carbon content will be there. Is it right? So here N-hexane means symbolically how we'll write? C6H14. Carbon 6 atoms and hydrogen 14 atoms. N-heptane means C7H16. Carbon 7 atoms and hydrogen is 16 atoms. That is why these liquid dielectrics are the hydrocarbons. Keep it in mind. So examples for these pure liquids are, which are those? One is N-hexane and one more is the N-heptane. So next comes to the commercial liquid. Commercial liquids means obviously we can define it very easily. So these commercial liquids which are not chemically pure. Chemically not pure in the sense that obviously these liquids will be consist of some complex impurities like organic molecules. So these impurities cannot be easily specified. That is why the purification process has to be carried out. Okay. Okay, let us study about how the purification of these kinds of liquids that is going to be gets done. Okay, so the purification means basically you need to understand what are the impurities usually present in the liquid dielectrics. So which are those impurities will be present in the liquid dielectrics? One is the dust particles or moisture content or some dissolved gases or the ionic impurities. These are the main impurities which will be present in the liquid dielectrics. Liquid dielectrics means examples: transformer oil or the petroleum oil or a silicone oil. So these are the liquid dielectrics. Getting my point? So these are the main impurities will be present in the liquid dielectrics. For that purpose we need to do the purification process. Is it right? So that is why the various methods which are employed for a purification of these kinds of in order to purify the liquid dielectric means in order to avoid these impurities, the purification process or the filtration process it is going to be get it done. How? By making use of some mechanical filters, or we can use some spray filters, or making use of the electrostatic filters. Keep it in mind. Okay. So different filters we are going to use and will remove the impurities which are present in the liquid dielectrics. Okay, next comes to the first impurity with what is there? Dust is there. So these dust particles if when present in the liquid dielectrics means, so suppose if a dust particles, if they are present in the liquid dielectrics means they becomes charged and reduces the breakdown strength of a liquid dielectrics. So that is why they can be removed by the careful filtration process. Getting my point? So okay, well, next see here. So liquid will normally contains moisture content and some other dissolved gases in a smaller quantities. Getting my point? So the gases means the dissolved gases like what? Oxygen, or it may be carbon dioxide. These gases will significantly affect the breakdown strength of the liquids itself. So this is done by, so the gaseous impurities like oxygen and the carbon dioxides, these two impurities will significantly reduces the breakdown strength of a liquids. So how these impurities can be overcome means by the process called as a distillation, or it is also going to be called it as a degassing process. Getting my point? Next thing here, and some other ionic impurities will be present in the liquids. Ionic impurities means like a water vapor. It is the example for the ionic impurity. The water vapor which easily dissociates and leads to a very high conductivity and heating of the liquid depending upon the applied electrical field itself. So that water content, it is going to be removed using the some drying agents or by making use of some vacuum drying pumps also. Getting my point? So first nothing but is there with respect to this diagram. So first we are going to study about the purification process of a liquid dielectrics. The liquid dielectrics mainly consist of impurities like first one is a dust, and second thing is the moisture content, and the third is the dissolved gases, and the fourth is the ionic impurities. Getting my point? And next, which kinds of a filtration process we can use? So like mechanical filters or a spray filters or a electrostatic filters we can use. Okay. Next comes to first impurity is dust particle. Suppose if the dust particle, if it is present in the liquid dielectric means those dust particles, when we apply the electric field, those particles gets charged and reduces the breakdown strength of a liquid dielectrics. Getting my point? So that can be easily removed by the careful filtration process. Okay. Next comes to moisture content. Suppose the moisture content as well as the dissolved gases. Which are those dissolved gases will be present in the liquid dielectric? Either it is the oxygen or the carbon dioxide. Due to the presence of these dissolved gases, the breakdown strength or the electric strength of a liquid, it is going to be reduces. So that is, those impurities are going to be removed by a process called as a distillation process or the degassing process. Okay, next comes to the another impurity, that is ionic impurity. Ionic impurity is nothing but the water vapor. So these water vapor, it is removed using some drying agents or we can use some vacuum drying pumps it is. Getting my point? So those we can use it. Sometimes or else sometimes what they are going to do, so these liquids are going to be shaked with the concentrated sulfuric acid to reduce the or to remove the residual content which is present in the liquid dielectrics. Or sometimes these liquid dielectrics are also washed with the caustic soda and the distilled water to reduce these kinds of impurities also. Getting my point? So these are the various filtration process in order to avoid the or in order to remove the impurities which are present in the liquid dielectric media. So that is why this is the commonly used closed cycle liquid purification system it is. Getting my point? So this is what it is. This is the liquid purification system. It will prepares the liquids as per the requirements. Okay. First thing is that Basically we'll start it from the reservoir now. Reservoir is nothing but the storage of the oil, it is there. Getting my point? So reservoir is nothing but the storage of a liquid or the any kind of a oil itself. So liquid from this reservoir flows through the distillation column, where in this distillation column ionic impurities like a water vapor, it is going to be completely removed. When it passes through the distillation column means the water vapors are going to be removed. How this water vapors are removed means the water is removed by drying agents are frozen out by providing the low temperature to this distillation column. Getting my point? So next thing here. Next, the dissolved gases like oxygen or the carbon dioxide. So those dissolved gases in the liquids are removed. How they are removed means by passing through the cooling towers. Getting my point? Or cooling towers are pumped out, or we can pass through the cooling tower, or we can pump it out by the vacuum pumps also. Getting my point? So which insulating impurities? Gaseous impurities. How they are going to remove? By passing the cooling tower, or we can pump it out by the vacuum pumps. Okay. Next, then liquid is passed through the, again the liquid is passed through the, here the distillation column means here which impurity has removed? So ionic impurity, nothing but the water vapor. By passing through the cooling tower or through the vacuum pump, which impurity has removed? Gaseous impurities like oxygen or the carbon dioxide. Next, this fluid comes to the, so filters. Filter in the sense that here the liquid then passes through the filter. This filter may be mechanical filter, or it may be electrostatic filter, or it may be spray filter. So when the liquid is passes through this filter means where the dust particles are going to be completely removed. Getting my point? So this impurities free liquid is then passed through the test cell. The sample of the pure oil, nothing but impurities free oil, it has taken in the test cell itself. So this test cell will be consist of 2 electrodes. So this test cell, it is mainly used for carrying out the breakdown strength of a oil test it is. Getting my point? So that process only will explain with the help of a diagram here only. So the impurities free oil, the sample of the oil which has taken in a test cell, or it is a smaller test cell, it is there. In this sample of a oil, it is going to be filled here. So this test cell will be consist of the 2 electrodes. So getting my point? Between these 2 electrodes there is a small distance is there, and this test cell will be completely filled with the liquid or the oil it is. Getting? So now, so once see here, so after taking the sample of a oil, which test we are going to carry out? We are carrying out the breakdown test, or the breakdown strength of the oil, it is going to be tested here. So first thing is here, the breakdown tests are normally conducted using this test cells. For testing the pure liquids, the test cells are going to be used. Here in this test cell, small quantity of the oil it is going to be taken, and this test cell, it is consist of the electrodes. Getting my point? The electrodes used for breakdown voltage measurement. So how these electrodes are there means, this will be consist of a sphere, nothing but a round shaped electrodes, and whose are having the diameter of a 0.5 to 1 centimeter, and the gap between these 2 electrode will be about 100 to 200 nanometer, or we can say that very small distance, 0.1 millimeter itself. Getting my point? So that gap between these 2 electrodes, it is going to be usually controlled by a device called as a micrometer. Keep it in mind. Okay. Some next thing, so even instead of these sphere electrodes, we can use parallel plane uniform field electrodes also. Keep it in mind. And very important thing is here, these electrode separation is a very critical in measurements with the liquids. And also the very important thing is that the whatever the electrodes we are going to use, either it is a sphere electrodes or a uniform parallel plane electrodes, the surface of those electrodes should be very smooth itself. Getting my point? And that is why the test voltage, to this test voltage, first basically the how much voltage we are going to applying, and we are testing the breakdown strength of a particular oil itself. First here the test voltage, it will be very low itself. So how much voltage we are going to be providing, in the sense that the very low voltage which is of a order 50 to 100 kilovolt itself. Suppose if we provide the 50 to 100 kilovolt, because why we are providing the low voltage for carrying out the breakdown test, in the sense that because the distance between these two electrodes, it is very small, it is there. So that is why we are providing the voltage of a 50 to 100 kV. So in that case, the breakdown strength as well as the conductivity which is obtained in a liquid, pure liquids, which is very high, that is of order 1 megavolt per centimeter, and the conductivity is of a 10 raised to minus 18 to 10 raised to minus 20 mho per centimeter. So getting my point? So this is all about what it is, purification process as well as the breakdown test which has been carried out by taking the sample of a oil in the test cell it is. So I hope that only the point wise I had written here, the breakdown strength. So I hope this is clear to all of you. Okay. Thank you.